Alright guys, hello and welcome to what I'm calling the Great Eastern Circle, Part 1. So I am driving up to Lambert Airport now, here in St. Louis. It is just about, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I can see my new dash camera setup is working beautifully every time I have to hit the brakes. I've never done this before. So we're actually setting a couple firsts today. I've been to Chicago many times. I've never flown into Midway Airport before. I know it's famous for nice views of the city and the real short runways that it has, which tends to make for some pretty interesting approaches and landings. So I'm kind of looking forward to this. Now, I'm chose to fly at an interesting time here, not deliberately, but we are in the midst still of the government shutdown. There's a lot of headlines hitting today about delays in the Northeast because there's a shortage of air traffic controllers that are still working. So thus far it has not impacted the Midwest, St. Louis or Chicago, so it looks like I'm okay for now. I am hoping that's still the case by the time I fly back in a week. Hopefully this will all be resolved by then, but you know how things go. So anyway, Amtrak is also still operating, so there's the potential for problems as this trip goes on. There's always potential for problems during any trip. But for the most part, it looks like we're still okay. So yeah, be heading up to Chicago, landing there around 4 p.m., taking the CT8 from Midway to downtown. I'm actually going to be checking into the Travelodge downtown again. I'm visiting some friends that live in the South Loop area, but it's a real tiny apartment, so there's really not enough room for me. So I just picked up a real cheap room for like $50 on Hotwire. We'll see if it still holds up as well as it did last time, get a view around the room. And then in a couple days, when it's time to hop on Amtrak, we'll pick this video up again and document that. And then when it's time to leave the DC area, hopefully the flights will still be operating and we'll get that too. So, yeah. Really hope you enjoy this 3-part trip report. First thing I've ever done like this. By the way, did I mention it's supposed to be 6 degrees when I hit Chicago? Because it's supposed to only be 6 degrees Fahrenheit when I hit Chicago. That'll be fun. Anyway, so we're here at the parking spot east, which is sort of my go-to at the airport these days. Part of the reason is because I always park here for work when I fly out, and I build up a lot of points. So like this trip, I'm almost covering entirely with points. The parking spot is a great loyalty program, so I'm just going to go in the surface lot today since it's cheaper. Should have enough points to cover almost the whole stay. And I'm actually flying up to Chicago on points with Southwest too. Another nice thing about the parking spot is that it doesn't really matter where you park because they come and pick you up at your car. Oh, actually there's a couple open spots right here. Number 642 it is. Alright, I'm gonna have to put the camera away and get myself situated here.
Ladies and gentlemen, if we can have your attention for just a moment, we're going to put out the safety features on the 737-700 series. To fasten your seatbelts, slide the flat end into the buckle to release lift out. The buckle is share release. We do need you to wear your seatbelt at all times while your seat strap around your waist and buckle it at the front. Now, once you've jumped outside the aircraft, you can inflate the vest by pulling down on the red tab, or you can manually inflate it by pulling into the two at your shoulders. We're going to come by at this time and check to make sure that your seatbelts are fastened and on your clip compartments above your head. Immediately pull down on the mask until the plastic tube is fully extended. Place that mask over your nose and mouth and breathe normally. The mask can be secured with the elastic strap, and be aware that the plastic bag may not inflate, but you will be receiving oxygen. For those of you traveling with children or sitting next to someone who may need some of your assistance today, it is very important that you put your mask on first. I need to look over that menu card, because when we get up to do our drink service, we're only going to have about 20 minutes to do it. Enjoy your flight.
17, the seatbelt sign is on. Please make sure that you remain your seat down with your seatbelt securely fastened about you until you come to a stop. You see that fast seatbelt sign turn off. That's going to be your only indication that you can get up there. It's been our pleasure having you on board. We look forward to flying with you again sometime in the very near future. Thanks again for choosing Southwest Airlines, your travel needs. Have a wonderful evening.
Chicago Midway. We're going to ask that you please remain seated with your seatbelts fastened, all of your luggage where it is, until we arrive at the gate and our captain has safely turned off the fasten seatbelt sign. That will be your only indication that it's okay for you to get up and retrieve your items. Y'all please be careful. You open overhead bins and it's move about there in a flight and they can fall out. If you have a connecting plane here in Chicago Midway, plane, check the TV monitors and a gate area for your plane and gate number. For those of you that will be continuing on to Baltimore, please remain seated. Let us deplane the locals and transfers. Once we get them off the aircraft, Julian is going to come from the back of the aircraft and count you Once we get that count verified with our ground personnel, we'll make an announcement. At that time, you can stand and stretch your legs. If Chicago and the surrounding area is your final destination, the safest part of your journey is over. Ground, buckle up, drive safe, enjoy the rest of your evening. Most importantly, come back and see us again real soon. It's been a slice of heaven having all of you on board tonight. We know you have many choices when you fly. Thank you so much for getting up and choosing us here at Southwest today. Welcome to Chicago Midway.
right, we made it. It is freaking cold out here. To say the least. But only a couple more blocks and I'll be in the heat for a little bit. So those are actually the tracks that we came in on. Alright, so they put me on the 4th floor. So I'm going to just hurry up and get you a view of this room. My friends are stopping by in about 10 minutes, so I have a little bit of time here. Get you the same first impression as me. Number 4. You can see, like last time, you can tell this building's been around for a bit. Alright, this will be me. My fingers are so frozen I can't get the key out. Alright, let's see what we've got here. Other than a dark room. Whew. Alright, so I'm not going to do a full review because I've already reviewed a room in this building, but just like last time, it's really cool. You can actually see where they had a window above the door back in the day, and it's just been completely painted over, but even like the latch, the hinges, everything are still up there. It's an interesting hotel because it's been updated in some ways, but in a lot of ways it really hasn't been. Love the molding around the door. A well-worn closet in here, but nice and spacious. Actually, 2 levels for hangers, which is pretty cool. Nice big safe. Honestly, there's been a lot of nice updates, despite the very dated, like, jail cell-ish appearance of this room for the door. They could really use to replace those old flowery curtains. They could stand to use something besides beige paint to kind of give the room a little bit of color. And the carpet doesn't appear to be overly dirty, but it is very old and very worn, and it contributes to the dated look of the room. But minus those 3 things, this actually doesn't look too bad off the bat. The light fixture between the beds looks fairly nice. They've upgraded the bed linen since last time I was here. It's so nice to see all white. So you have like a top sheet, old school hotel blanket bottom sheet. It's budget hotel bedding, but it actually looks pretty decent. And clean too. Oh yeah, you can actually, it smells like it just came out of the washer. Sorry guys, my camera battery died. Anyway, as I was saying, the mattress looks a little worn, but still fairly comfortable. Sheets feel decent. Pillows are pretty flat, honestly. Clean though. Very well-worn phone here on the table. Furniture isn't terrible. Yeah, the bedding all seems totally fine. Nice large TV. Before I get to the view, just real quick, the bathrooms in here, just like the last one, they've been updated, and this actually is fairly nice. If they could get the rest of the room to this level, I think they'd be doing themselves a big favor. Because it's nice and bright. Really deep bathtub, wow. I don't know what that is. Looks like it's just, they reglazed the tub, and that wore through. But the tile work is all nice. I love the old school sprinkler pipe up there. Fixtures all seem pretty nice too. I'm starting to unthaw a little bit. Linens are pretty much right on par for a budget hotel. Very utilitarian toilet here. Got your coffee pot here, which actually looks fairly clean. Generally like to see the single cup machines in hotels because it's hard to keep those pots clean, but this one looks okay. And then you've got the view of this icy cold city, and there's a lot of cold air coming in this window. This is like a classic single pane, original to the building window with just a piece of insulating foam stuck in there to accommodate this window unit. And this is just like a regular residential window air conditioner, I guess for the summer. Not that I'm going to be needing that this time. And then we've got old school heat here for the winter. This is a, it is blazing, but this is a classic heat radiator right here. Most likely original to the building. This is probably just an old two-pipe system. I guess this is basically your thermostat, and it's cranked. So, anyway, yeah, like last time, I mean, keep in mind, I'm staying in the middle of Chicago, like prime location here for $50. It's dated, it's worn, but as a functional hotel, it works. I have to say this place passes the test again. So, that's going to conclude day number 1 of the Great Eastern Circle here. So, I really hope you enjoyed the video. I'm going to get out and have some fun here in Chicago this weekend, and then it's time to head to Washington, D.C. for work. But I'm going on the train. That'll be part 2. Catch you next time.